Right, hello. Okay, so I am Maxia Slight, and we are playing 7 Days to Die. I had a conversation with a friend a few days ago, and like me, they're older than the teens playing these games. Um, and he was telling me that he doesn't feel there's very many nice, succinct, detailed tutorials for 7 Days to Die. So here we are. I'm going to make you a few now. I'm going to start right at the beginning, as in make your character. You log the game in. This screen is the startup screen. You click down here on options, player profiles, and you have a bunch of pre-made models that are offered to you. Now, don't get too attached to any of the clothing on these guys, because if you select one, they won't be wearing that. Everybody is chucked into the world naked. Naked and afraid. Now, that's Mad Mole, the creator, one of the developers of the game, Joel. That's his actual in-game character. You can use a skin for it. This is Max. This is mine. This is me. So if you go to create a new, you end up with a generic skin like that. You can pick a female or a male. You can change the muscle mass. You can change the head size, the butt, how much they weigh, because you can make them, these are just sliders, so you can make them really fat or really skinny. You can make the feet, you can change the skin color. On the head, there's a lot more changes. You can detail it as much as you want. All the way, every one of these is a slider, and they're very self-explanatory. So I'm going to come out of that. Max is my character, and we're going to go back. So now the next thing you want to do is start a new game. Name it. Tutorials. There we are. And you want to pick your options. Okay. This is difficulty. Starts as Nomad, which is the middle. If you want to turn it down, you can. Yeah. So Nomad is the starting, is generic setup. Daylight length goes up to 18 hours. You can basically modify your day and how your game is going to treat you. So whether the zombies run, always run, never run, or the other way around, that's never run, always run, or default, which means they run at night. Persistent profiles, that's if you're playing on different online servers. And that basically means that the character that you create will be available to you on the next server. Modded options, I'm not sure why it's called modded options, but this is how you change a lot more of the details of the game. I like to build bases and extravagant bases, so I need a lot of time in the day before the 7 days comes up. So I put my days to 120 minutes, which means each day cycle in-game is going to be 2 hours in real world, which means by the time I get to day 7, I've played 14 hours of real-time play to get that point, so I'm a bit more advanced in my building, etc. Block durability speaks for itself. Loot abundance speaks for itself. Loot spawn time. There's an area around, if you are in an area, loot won't spawn in certain containers if you're there for a certain amount of time, etc. And you can change how long it is in between each one of those spawns. So like a car, you find a car with nothing in it, you come back 10 days later on my cycle there, and there might be something in it. So it helps with the world, excuse me, that you're crafting a lot of things in, and you need a lot of resources and things like that. So it helps me for that. Dropping on death. Now you can drop everything your character is holding, which a lot of people do. You can drop just what's in your hands, keep your backpack. You can drop just your backpack. I like to prefer just a backpack. And the most extreme option is you lose everything when you die. I don't play that way because I don't think that's quite right. There we are. And then this one is a new feature on Alpha 16. You can see how many enemies are going to be attacking you on the Blood Night, on the 7-day pause. This is divisible this is only divisible by 64, so you can set it to 64 and your friend would have it set to 64, only 64 will spawn. But if you have it set to 12 and your friend has it set to 12 and you're together on a horde night, there will be 24. Okay, so bear that in mind. The maximum is 64, but it will accumulate players' numbers up to and including 64. Airdrops, which are very useful to get some good gear out of those. You can adjust the times in between. You can turn them off altogether. Have them every 7 days. I like to have them every 3 days. Cheat mode, which is I'm going to put on for this because I'm doing a tutorial. I might need some stuff to show you. But that means you can spawn in anything from the creative menu. And this is a feature that's quite, some people don't like, some people do. On your compass, you will have a little yellow mark where one of these airdrops is. But if you turn it off, you have to follow it down when it drops from the airplane, the yellow smoke to it, and it lands somewhere. And you would have to follow it and find it, because once it hits the ground, you will have no idea where it is, because the smoke dissipates after a couple of minutes. Okay, so, but I like to switch that on, which means I have a permanent location for it, and I can go and find it at my leisure. Now, let's go. I've just completely cocked that up. So here we are. Right, we go back. Over here, we have game mode, which is survival single player, survival multiplayer, which means if you want your friends to play with you, they can connect to your world. If you have it on a single player world, your friends cannot connect. So if you want friends to connect to you, do it with a multiplayer game. And creative is there's everything you can get, anything in the game, you can spawn it in, but there are no zombies. Kind of defeats the object of the game to me. But there we are. Random, game world here is whether you go for Nava's game, which is the generic handcrafted map, or a randomly generated world. Now, Nava's game I don't play too much, because once you learn where it is, that's it, you know it. And Legend has it within this game. While we're in alpha, that there is going to be a story based in Nava's game map. So I don't want to learn the map too much for when the actual release of this comes through and there's a bit more to it, and actually play in Nava's game that way. So that's all your settings done. You're ready to go. You come down to press start and you wait. Now this can take a little while, especially when you initially set up a world. Sorry, I'm saying initializing, and I tried to say initialize. Yes, see, words bad. Now, this can take a little while when you start a world for the first time. There you go. That's the way to say it. And because it's got to load everything up, especially randomly generated, it's going to have to build the blocks because they have certain ideas of, you know, this is going to be a rock, this is going to be a mountain, there will be a path from this to this, and so on. So it has to build that framework, and it takes quite a lot of time. So this is the first video, getting started. We are now in the game, and I'm going to end this one right now and make the next one from the beginnings and the starting out. So ta-da, have fun.